the www.think tank, and we're trying to think of ways to save paper.
First we're going to concentrate on the Friday note. So...
Yeah, you can write it up, John, if you want. Okay, so what is the problem? What did we find out today about how many copies of the Friday note there are?
There is 370 Friday notes printed every Friday.
Okay, and how many children are there in the school? Does anybody know?
350.
Okay, alright. Andrew, what do you think of that?
I think that's very good. What I also think is there's lots of families in the school, and then the all the people in the family get a Friday note, and that's just a waste because you only really need one. So
How many are in your family?
3, and we all get a Friday note.
And these are triplets, these are all in the same class, does that make sense?
No, I think that's just a waste of paper, so I do.
Okay. Okay, so what do you think we could do about it, Joe?
Well, I think we should, if there's more than one person in the family in the school, then give it to one member of the family to save paper.
Okay. Any other ideas? Any ideas? Anybody says she could write it down?
I have an idea. It's not exactly about the Friday note, but it's about saving people for homework. Instead of just sticking a sheet in, she got from the book and writing it on the other page, you could just stick it in with the top like we do in our class, and then just write under it to save paper.
Okay, that's a good idea. What about the Friday note then? Emer, what do you think we could do?
Well, we could just, on the school website there already is the Friday note, but we might not need to give it out in school. We could just keep it on the school website for people to look, and we will get more views up on the school website by doing that too.
Okay. Kiva?
The people that don't have computers at home, they could get a Friday note, but the people that do have computers, they can just go onto the website.
Okay, so how will we organise then? Are we just going to say if you have a computer you don't get one, or are we going to give people...
We could maybe ask around the school if we can do this, maybe what people don't have working computers.
So will we give parents a chance to, if they want, they can opt into it?
We can make a list of people that have computers and people that don't, and so we could get used to who has a computer at home and who doesn't. So whoever needs a Friday note, we can just give them one. Whoever doesn't.
And what about somebody who has a computer but would still want the Friday note?
Well, we could just maybe give them the Friday note, and then they don't have to go on the computer.
Okay, so we let parents choose.
Yes.
So how are we gonna give parents the choice? How are we going to do that or organise that?
We can send a note home, so we'll put it up on the school website too if parents go on it.
Okay, so we
could tell the children, tell their mums and daddies to go on the website.
Okay.
What if they don't have a computer? Well, we could tell the Parents Association.
That's the thing. If they don't have a computer, we said that we would give them Friday notes so the children could tell them about the computers. If you can check on the website if you have one, and if you don't, then you can get one.
We
Okay.
could announce it at the assembly.
We could announce at assembly on Thursday. Okay. What's the best way then? We try and use the website. What would be the best way then? How would you organise it? You know, how would the parents go on the website, and then how would we know if parents wanted a Friday note or didn't want a Friday note? How are we going to know?
Well, maybe the children they could send in a note, and then the kids could give them just.
You see, the thing about that, I had that idea of sending in a note, but then we're trying to save paper.
The children could tell us.
In the contact section, they could say if they want the Friday note or not.
But what if
That's
they
a
don't
good
have
idea.
paper? I mean, a computer.
But they didn't have a computer. They wouldn't be using the contact us section on the website.
Then they'd be getting a Friday note.
Yeah. So will we put up something in the? What do you think? We put up something in the contact us section.
Yeah.
We could.
We should.
And we can count how many people wanted, and then give out them Friday notes.
Yeah, and then if we got 10, there's 10 pieces of paper saved, and more people might join and stuff like that. So when do you? Yeah.
Well, no, that didn't really work.
When should we start this then?
I think we can.
ASAP.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can maybe put it on the website. Like we could put it on the website, the www.gogreen.
Okay.
Big article
That's what
about
I
it.
was thinking
And
of.
All right.
Then we could have
why is it health?
recycling bin. Like hold up.
We could put up like an article about we're going green and we're trying to save paper, and if you can help in any way to do that, please help. Please
Okay. So we try and encourage other people. Yeah.
See on the homepage we should write check our Friday notes instead of getting one.
Yeah.
Then they could bring you to the Friday note.
Mr. Coonan.
Yeah. That's good.
Actually, using the weather it also saves paper, but the bad thing is it doesn't really save electricity.
What's that? The
We're not looking at.
well, that's yeah. Is that something we should? So we know we're going to look at. We're going to try and look. Then you've talked about you wanted to use the website to save paper and help the environment. Okay. So another thing we could look at is saving energy as well.
Yeah.
Okay. How we can help the environment.
Really, anything.
Okay.
Switch off monitors
Yep.
should
Matthew-
always check
Matthew always a switch
to
off
see
on.
if like your cloakroom is light is turned off, or your storeroom,
We could say
Okay.
that several times a day. So
or
we
if you
could.
have a projector.
You could have a
Okay.
school switch
Well,
off
us in
monitor.
Scotland.
The school switch off monitor that goes around the whole school and protects the paper out of elephant poo.
Yeah.
You can.
You can make
But
it.
it's a wee bit
You can
unhygienic though.
No, you well, we could actually you can make the easier way would be to use clay and make it so it would.
Okay. Okay, so let's summarise what we've done so far today then. We've talked about the Friday notes. So we're going to try and print, going to see if we can hit away where less would be printed. Okay, so there's 370 printed now.
Wasting paper by doing that.
And, yeah, well, long-term game, but maybe you're right. Maybe, well, that's a good idea, Neve, actually. So what is it, see the way we're doing this on paper? What is a way that we could do this by not using paper? Because we're trying to
Interactive whiteboard.
Typing it up, type it up.
type, and where could we type it?
Learning it now.
Learning NI. So we could go on and we could swap messages on Learning NI. Couldn't we?
If you type it up and then print it out, it'll be wasting paper.
But we don't need it. Do we actually need to print it?
No.
So we could just type it?
Our homework tonight's wasting paper.
Yeah, but you can send it to Mrs.
The homework is
Tandy
about
on her
wasting paper,
email.
or it is wasting paper?
It is wasting paper.
So what could you do that it wouldn't be wasting?
Just send it to Mrs. Handy.
That's what most of us are doing. Yeah, we're
just going to email her.
We're
She gives her
emailing
email address.
Mrs. Tandy instead of printing it out, but then we're printing it out in school.
No,
So
she
it's-
No, you don't have
Exactly.
to actually print it out.
she might not print it out. I don't think she has.
No, you can tell her you don't have to. You can say,
This
oh
is
yeah,
getting into a jumble.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go back, but that's okay. That's why we have a think tank. Come up with different ideas. So Friday note, we're going to try and save it. We're going to try. We'll come back the next day or later on. We'll come back and look at how we're going to maybe save energy in the school as well. Okay, so there's Friday note, how we can save paper, save energy. And Andrew had something very interesting yesterday where he was asking about recycling in the school. Okay, so we don't know what happens to the paper in our school, or even if it is recycled. So who could we ask in the school to find out if paper's recycled? So will we maybe we should interview Mr. McAllister?
In the photocopy and
There's big waste
Have
paper.
one and he doesn't throw any in the waste.
Yeah, well let's find out what happens to the paper anyway. Okay, all right. Well, we better go back to class now. Thank you. Well done. Good idea.